Hey, Walker.
Hey, Miss Sparks.
How are you?
I'm good.
I put the whole thing in as one serving if I do two, like the whole container?
No,
two.
you're gonna do two
That's what I
servings
thought.
at the end, but you'll
At the
put all the
end.
recipe in.
Well, what do I do now?
Put the beans in, and
I
then
know. I did ask you every time you put something in. How many servings it is? Okay, I'll just put two.
I don't know. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Complicated recipe making stuff going on here at the Sparks household. Do you have a specific question with regard to today, or do you want me just to go through some examples?
I wouldn't mind going through some examples of particularly synthetic division. That seemed to be a little bit of a hang-up for me. But besides that, I just actually finished watching the video for, was it 3 point something or other?
3.1?
3.1, yeah. And it, I don't know, I think it made a lot of sense and it was pretty good.
Okay, cool. Good. All right. Well, let me go back. Let me find a synthetic division problem. And then I'll do one. You don't happen to have your review sheet in front of you, do you? Because I left mine at school.
If you could see my floor, you'd just see all of my schoolwork just kind of scattered about.
Oh, well, there you go. My table kind of looks the same way.
There we go.
Mine's grading papers.
So there's the evaluate the given function.
Because I was thinking perhaps maybe you could read me a problem.
Sure. So I got the little divide thing right here.
Cool.
There we go. Put this back over there. So there's one with the synthetic division, and it says p cubed minus 16p squared plus 62p plus 9 divided by p minus.
After minus 16p squared, what comes next, please?
Plus 62p.
Plus 62p.
Plus 9.
Plus 9.
That's all in parentheses.
Yes, sir.
And divided by p minus 7.
Does it look right on the screen?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to give myself a little tiny space here. So what you would do with synthetic division is you're going to take the opposite of this, okay? So the opposite of -7 is a +7. And then you draw your pretty little synthetic division sign. And then you're going to take the coefficient of each term in the polynomial expression. Also bearing in mind if there would be any place that we needed a placeholder. By that, I mean as long as there's a third degree, a second degree, a first degree, and then a constant. So in this particular instance, we do not need a placeholder. If one of these degrees had been skipped, you would need a placeholder. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. And is the placeholder just like let's say 16p wasn't there? Would it be p squared times 0?
Yes, you would just have to put in like, okay, now I'm going to put a 1 in as the coefficient for p cubed. And in the instance that you were talking about, if this -16p squared was not here, I would just place a 0 there as a placeholder.
I kind of remember a little bit from, was it the online activity thing that you gave us way back when?
Yes, sir.
And, I'm just kind of trying to get a refresher. I'm trying to make sure I understand it a little better. Because even back then it was, but I think, so
great. That's awesome. I told you we didn't need to add more red pepper.
No, you just said I already had some.
Sorry about the recipe thing again. I made something too spicy for lunch.
Ooh. My mom made a chicken casserole. So whenever she does it, she makes like the big pot of it and says, okay, you guys feed on that for a little week and then make some lasagna next week.
Oh, there you go. That's awesome. Oh, I need a chicken casserole recipe.
She had bought like a freezer really cheap long ago, and she
Yes.
used to have it to where she would make like a big lasagna, big this, and cut it out into certain slices and freeze it and pull it out and de-thaw it for dinner each night so she could do whatever she wanted for the rest of the week, and she just take one day devoted to that.
Yes. You know what? I used to do that a long time ago too. Back when I was a little more organized than I am now.
Back before the kids.
Well, no, actually when I was homeschooling, I was better about doing stuff like that. It seems like now that I'm working, tutoring, and I also have a bookkeeping tax job that I do.
Oh wow, really?
Yes, I do that on Thursdays. So yeah, I do a company's payroll taxes.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah. Okay. All right, back to synthetic division. So exciting, isn't it, Walker?
Yeah, math.
Yes. Yay. Yay, math. All right. So here you the very first step in the synthetic division is you carry down your 1. And then this is where we start the multiplying process. So 1 times 7 is 7. One of the key differences between long division for polynomials and synthetic division for polynomials is when you're doing this synthetic division, you're technically adding. Whereas in long division, you're subtracting. Okay? But obviously, when you have negatives and positives, you're still finding the difference and giving the sign of the higher. But that is one of the key differences in synthetic and long division. So we've got a negative 16 plus a positive 7, which is going to give us a negative 9. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay.
Yes,
a negative 9 times 7 then is a negative 63. And when I combine a positive 62 and a negative 63, I'm going to get a negative 1. And then negative 1 times 7 is a negative 7. A positive 9 plus a negative 7 is a positive 2. So to write my answer then in polynomial form, I will start here, and let me roll this back down real quick. I start with my very first number here that I got. This 1, but I'm going to go 1 degree smaller than that p cubed for my answer. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
So then, because this is a 1, it's understood in front of it. So this is going to be a p squared, 1 degree down from the cubed, minus a 9p minus 1. That becomes my constant. Plus, and then I'm going to state my remainder over my divisor, which was p minus 7.
Ah, I see.
Is that better?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you want me to do a couple more?
I wouldn't mind doing one more. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right.
So, yeah.
I'm going to erase this one while you look up the next one.
Let's see here.
Does that, and I also, one key thing while I'm erasing this, just so that you see how the divisor in this case was p minus 7, which is just a simple monomial. P minus 7. That is the only time you can use synthetic division. If by chance, if the divisor had been a quadratic or started with p squared minus p minus 7, you could not use synthetic division. You would have to use long division. You can only use it when it's a monomial as the divisor. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. What's our next problem?
I was going to see one if I could find one that would skip.
Oh, have a placeholder?
But I don't think there's one on the review packet.
Okay. I think we did try to keep it pretty simple. Let me see if I can find one.
Right here. I'll check up in the book.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do, is look in the book.
What was that? That was 2 point... I want to say 2.4.
Was it 2.4?
Might have been, or it might have been 2.7 here. I'll check it out real quick. Mm.
Might have even been. Actually, it might have been 2.5, eh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, here it is, 2.5. Got it. Using polynomial log division. So let's see here. See some examples. Should be right here, 2.5 exercise.
Oh, yeah, I found one if you didn't find one.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Let's use that one.
Okay. It's very, very simple, though.
Mhm.
So, if you want to look for a more difficult one, I'm cool with that. This is pretty. X plus 2 divided by x minus 1. So you tell me, where would I need a placeholder?
You need it right between the x cubed and the x the plus x.
There you go. Perfect. Okay. So, do you want to walk me through this, or me walk through one more and then you walk through the next one?
I think I'll be able to walk you through this one.
Okay, so I'm going to take the opposite of x minus 1, which is going to give me a positive 1 as my divisor. And then now you tell me what to write here.
Okay, so then you'd have the 1 plus, would it be 0?
Yes, sir.
Plus, would that be another 1 plus 2?
Yes, perfect. You did awesome.
I think your spicy food is ready.
You're right. It is. Thanks. Okay, so what's first step that I do?
You would want to multiply 1 times 1, which would equal 1.
Well, actually, I bring this one down first.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Bring that one down. And now I get to multiply. So you always bring the first one down. Just bring it straight down. Okay, now multiply.
So that would equal 1.
Uh-huh.
And then you multiply it by 0, which would equal 0.
Well, actually, 0, you have to add this part. 0 plus 1 is 1.
Mm-hmm.
And now 1 plus 1, 1 times 1 is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 plus 2 is 4.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so do you only multiply when it's the 0, like the placeholder? Or
No. Remember, when you bring this one down, you go 1 times 1, and then you put that 1 right here.
Okay.
Right here. And then you add 0 plus 1, which gives you 1.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense now?
Yes, ma'am.
And then 1 times 1 is 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then 1 plus 1 is 2. And 2 times 1 is 2. And 2 plus 2 is 4. Maybe we should go through one more example.
Yes, ma'am.
After we do this, but let's write this one down. Okay. So why don't you walk me through? What am I going to write?
You're going to want to write 1 plus 1 plus, or it's going to be x plus
X
squared plus x plus 2.
Yes.
Plus 4 over, what was the original? 1 plus x? Or x plus 1? What was it?
X minus.
X minus 1. That was the original.
So that's your answer for that one.
Okay.
All right, you want to do one more?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you see? Let's see. I don't have another one with a placeholder in it.
I think we could just do one from the review packet. I don't know if it has to have a placeholder in this one. Let's see, a nice simple one. How about there's number 34 in the review packet, which is p cubed
Okay.
minus.
Sorry, let me get this erased
Oh, no problem.
so I can be caught up to you. I'm sorry. It takes a minute to erase with this stylus, so but I'm trying to catch up. Can you see okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see me writing? Cool. Good. All right. P, yeah, I think you said P cubed.
P cubed minus 11p squared plus 27p. Okay. Then that's
And that's it?
minus 14
Minus 14. Okay.
divided by
Uh-huh.
p minus 8.
So did I write it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So tell me what to do.
Okay, so first you're going to put it inside the little box, or like, put it in the format.
What do I write over here?
The 8,
Okay. Positive 8, right? Or negative 8?
negative 8. No,
Positive
positive,
8.
positive 8, positive 8.
Yes. You take the opposite.
Mhm. So then you're going to want to put the 1
Okay.
minus 11 plus 27 minus 14.
Okay. What's
Then
my first? Good job. What's my first step?
you're going to want to bring that 1 down.
Perfect.
Alrighty. Then you multiply the 8 times 1, which is 8.
Good job.
Then you add it to the negative 11,
Uh-huh.
which that'd be negative 3.
Yes, sir.
And would you multiply the negative 3 times 27?
No, sir.
No,
You
you add it
multiply
to.
it by the 8.
Okay, so you multiply the 3 times the 8, and then you
Uh-huh.
add it to the 27. So 3 times 8 is what, 24?
Yes, sir, but it's a negative 3.
Negative 24. So then that would equal a positive 3.
Good job.
And then would you multiply the 3 times the 8?
Yes, sir. You always multiply. You always take this number down here and multiply it by this
Okay.
to fill in this area here.
So then that'd be that'd be another 24, which is a positive 24.
This,
You'd add that to the negative 14, which would equal 10.
yes, sir. Perfect.
All right.
All
And
right.
when you write it out, it should read, let me see here, 1, or it should be p squared,
Yes, sir.
or 1p squared, minus 3p, then that'd be plus 3, and then that'd be plus 10, or over, what was the original? Was it p minus 8?
Yes, sir.
Mm.
So that would be it.
Woohoo!
Okay, how do you feel about it now? Should we do one more or are you feeling
I
better?
think I'm feeling better. I think I feel really good. Thank you.
Yes, not a problem. Was there anything else?
No, ma'am, it was just that. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Oh, hey, no problem. Thanks for coming to Math Lab.
All right. Have fun with your spicy food.
Hey, I will. I'll let you know how it is tomorrow in class.
All right. Bye, Miss
Okay.
Parks.
All right, bye-bye.
Put it on mute.